Crossing fingers that one works. And that audio levels are good. Stuart, say something.
Why? What? Are we... Well, let me know when we're going live. Like, Jesus.
Already pressed the button, but I... Oh, okay, good.
Oh. No, you didn't. I don't believe you. Hi, guys.
Okay. So you sound good on my OBS. Let's see if you sound good in reality.
Oh, yes, I should sound good, God damn it. I am the captain, and I'm important. Or I like to tell myself I am.
We're back. We're back. On a Trekyards live stream. We're back. Oh, we're back. Did some filming this morning, didn't we, Stuart?
Say that again, sorry?
Did some filming this morning, didn't we, Stuart?
Yes.
And now we're going to talk to you all with my rather dramatic thumbnail. I think it sells the point quite effectively, I think.
Her mind is blown.
And hopefully our minds are going to be blown that it's well thought out.
Whoa, yeah.
That's the cross fingers, because as we know, Stuart, if the payoff ain't good, doesn't matter how good the setup is. Discovery Season 2.
Oh, yes. Yes, this is true.
So we cross fingers for the epicness.
Epicness. Yes. So, guys, 56 of you here. See, I'm wondering if, because the clocks went ahead here, and then you're like an hour early, if it's going to fudge our numbers a bit. But
yeah, possibly. I mean, it's nice it's earlier, but people might turn up tomorrow. So everyone on your end, it's fine. Everyone mind about that. But I think we gave them a good warning, though. A good couple of hours. So we did our bit.
A lot of people were confused, though, starting an hour early today, and I'm like, nope. Well, yes, for you, maybe, for you guys over in the not important UK and Europe,
Yep.
We're the only continent that matters. You know how it is.
Yep, that is what you guys think in your cute, we control the world sort of way. But yeah, so hopefully people jump in and join us. We've got 45 likes, which is great. 86 people watching. So I will start.
Oof.
Oh my god, we've got a celebrity in the chat.
Where? Who? What? When? What?
The last chat.
Anti-Tiriker. Never heard of him. Judge 1981 though throws in $2. Locked in and ready to rock. There you go. Anti-Trekker $2. Welcome, Anti-Trekker. I only have 10 minutes on my break left. Get to it. All right. So, is it or isn't it? Yes, it is. Maybe, but no, it's not. Kind of. Maybe. I don't know. What could it be? It could be the past. Could be the future. I don't know. We'll find out. You're not going to cure it if you only have 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
I think it's a flashback with her personal thoughts on what might happen in the flash forward context.
I think it's a flashback of a vision she got when she was doing the little hippie commune thing around the fire with the witches. And then, so, it's a vision from that, but it's not really an actual vision. It's like a flashback to the vision, which is a flash forward.
Did she smoke the snake leaf, and that's why she has visions?
Exactly.
But that's why they introduced the snake leaf, so that this vision makes sense.
But those groups around fires in a ring don't work unless they're skyclad. Being skyclad means being naked. That's the only time those things work. So this was not going to be successful. So
you're calling it now we're going to see a naked O?
No, we won't, and that's the problem.
Oh.
That's why the vision is not accurate. Anyway, Wolvesbane Network puts in $2. Thank you very much. It's a flashback to see the future. So both. Right? It's kind of what...
I mean... the fact is Jane went back in time really easily, so... And they get their time travel 6 years from now, 4 years from now. No, before now. I don't know. Somewhere around here. So it's not as if time travel isn't easily accessible. I mean,
Well, that's true.
As in, isn't accessible. Once you get time travel, you've got, once you design it, then it's always been designed. So, Janeway managed to steal it and then managed to go back in time and stop Endgame.
Well, in TOS, I was just like, oh yeah, We just did a mission. We went back to the past to check on things.
That's a really good point. What if O just went forward in time based on slingshot maneuver? It's easy. So it is a flash forward because she just went back and forward in time and went back in time and then was there at the thing.
I don't think the slingshot effect works to go forward in time, just backwards in time. Unless you project
forward in time.
Unless you project
did go back forward in time.
Well, yeah, but they had to go back to their own. Never mind. Shut up.
Still forwards.
No, be quiet. If you have a stream of anti-neutrons projected from the deflector array while you're slingshotting, then yes, very easy to go forward, I guess. I just made that up, by the way, guys. So don't.
Polarized anti-neutrons. Don't feel the polarization, otherwise it will force a catastrophe, temporal quantum destructive tear in the fabric of nuclei destructor space.
They have to form a quantum slipstream
with a positronic fused belt
anti-neutron beam
cord.
Technobabble. Do you speak it?
Okay, as a pure rationale, would that be fun or not fun if they turned around and said, "Oh, we used the old slingshot maneuver and we did temporal research"?
People would hate it.
Because it's fully canon. Like there's nothing more needed to explain than that. Surely, you know, there's a certain elegance to that.
Tachyons. David Smith said none of us has said tachyons.
Wow, it's too obvious. We've got to work our way around tachyons.
Anyway, Eugene, 500 rubles.
Hiya.
Flashback or flash forward? Why not both?
Well, different parts, I think, are going to be different potential contexts.
Yes. Jeff Jacobs, $2. 50 likes in 3 minutes. I like where this is going.
Yeah.
As do I. And 117 of you here now. So thank you guys. Welcome. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed and click the notification icon.
Yes. And join the channel if you want to, because that's.
I'll wait till the video's not frozen. There we go. It's back. Exactly. Rum Truffler, £2. Flashback. She is from the future. That's my guess.
But they just did that with Michael Burnham's mom.
I'd buy that. Yeah, but they're very unoriginal, don't you know? Maybe she's going to be in Discovery season 3.
Ooh, okay.
And she comes back with Giorgio, because we know Giorgio has to come back to do Section 31.
Okay.
And so she's, there you go.
Okay. Which gives us a lot of context of the ends justify the means sort of thing.
Sure. That works. Torith, 69, $2, 110 watching, only 59 likes. Hit the like button. Yes, guys, hit the like button.
It's an important button.
And Jarzia,
$5.
If the lepton inverted quantum amplification pulse is attenuated to 47 gigahertz and the Heisenberg compensators are tied into the main deflector.
Yep.
And then Anti-Trekker chimes in and says inverse phase positronic anti-neutron particles. God damn it.
You know.
We did it. We've solved the mystery.
Yeah.
They're afraid of technobabble in this show, though. I've noticed that.
Well, they haven't done that many techno things, to be honest, so it's been relatively low compared to Discovery.
Techno dancing. Techno. I'll be quiet. All right. Are you going to share this video?
I can do that, yeah.
Yeah.
See you in a minute.
Go share it. It's a great way to get rid of Samuel, to tell him to go share the video, and then I can talk to you guys one-on-one. Welcome, everybody, back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley. I'm your host, your mentor, your friend, your lover. Okay, that went too far. Anyway, guys, if you are wanting to contribute to the chat, let us know your thoughts, feelings, questions, comments, whatever. Best way to do that is super chat, as we can read that and have a good discussion based on it, and just a general chat as well. I mean, if you guys aren't able to super chat, that's fine. We do read the odd one from the regular comment stream, but another great way to get noticed is to actually join the channel at the rank of Commander, Captain, or Admiral, and you can get some cool emojis. You get a badge beside your name, so we like to read those ones off as well because you get call-outs and videos as part of that. So there you go. You can do that as well. So there's a join button down by the subscribe button. That's another great way to help. It's kind of like the Patreon of YouTube because it's a monthly thing. Or speaking of Patreon, just head on over to Patreon/Trekyards. Join us there, and whatever you can afford, it'll help us out. It's all good. Also, PayPal. There's PayPal information down in the description, how to send us to PayPal. If you do that, we will be notified by our moderators that the PayPal was sent, and we will read your question, comment, diatribe, novel, whatever you put in there in the email for the PayPal. So we read that as well. So that's another great way to help out the channel. Brian Kesterson says, Captain, are you omnipresent? Well, at least for now, I guess, right? Yes, and I'm also omnipotent. But I've refrained from using my powers for many, many years now. Charles Williams puts in $2 a show, and she's probably from the Mirror Universe, so flashback. Ooh, I like that one. Oh, Samuel's just coming back, so...
There we go. Now
Charles Williams, $2 Australian. She's probably from the Mirror Universe, so flashback.
It's tricky because, yes, for sunglasses, but she also didn't react to the sun.
That was just dumb.
Yeah, there's meant to be a payoff there. She doesn't seem that evil, but if she's from post TNG DS9 one, then they're more nice then. I mean, possibly, but why would a past Mirror Universe, whatever, Romulan and Vulcan, that's adding way more complicated things, doesn't need to be.
Well, it makes sense that the Vision's not real for our universe, but for hers. So it's already happened.
Although you had the best idea at a different point, and I'll write down some we meant to discuss it because it was a really great idea.
But while you're doing that, I'll read the 2 new members to the page, to the channel. Devin Larson is a new member. He is at the rank of Commander, so welcome.
Welcome, Commander.
And Andrew Sepp is also at the Commander level now. So, and the more people we get, the more emojis we can add because we got some cool emojis for the chat. So keep joining and keep helping us out and get some cool stuff to put in the chat.
And Dan23 is commenting about the time. Yes, is at 10 because for the entire Americas it's the same time. So for most of our audience it's the normal time, but only for UK audience it's, I guess, European audience it's the other time.
We have a pretty big UK. We have a pretty big UK and Europe following. So,
but that is just great. They get to be early because then it's not 10 in the evening.
Yes.
Yeah. So this was. I want to first ask you: was this a worthwhile and quality payoff to the Jurati tease? Or was this scene as good as we hoped and as interesting as we hoped in the whole O thing? Start the beginning with it.
Oh. My O face. Anyway, no, not yet. I mean, next episode we'll probably get more of it, obviously, because we saw a lot of very quick cuts. So unless you like freeze frame, you kind of get like a bloop. What was that?
Which we have.
Yes. So it wasn't really worth it yet, but it might pay off still. So we'll have to see.
I mean, it was. At least we got confirmation that it wasn't a pure taking over a brain. It was, I will show you this and let you decide to help us because you can't not. It wasn't. And that gives the O character a bit more. There was a weird tonal shift with this episode, with the presentation of the characters, because all of a sudden O became much more down to earth, and you thought more that she might be the secret good side, maybe doing with the wrong ways of doing it, but fighting for good. And even the sister, calls out Hugh saying, "You effing idiot! You just killed 1 trillion people. What's wrong with you?" Obviously, none of them know about this stuff, so how can you really blame them if they don't know? But those just, the way she's acting in the scene, it's obviously as a reluctant hero, showing that she doesn't want to do. She has to relive it. It hurts her to do it, but she has to do it, and it's just like, ah, God. But you need to know to help if this was any other show and these are the heroes, you would take the scenes as, yeah, it's one of the heroes, but because it's associated as a baddie. So as we've said, there might be the reveal that no, these are actually working for the best justification, just in the Section 31 style of Avengers means, which none of us approve of. I mean, did you get some similar vibe? Was that crossing your brain?
Not really. No.
Okay.
I mean, having the knowledge that she's actually on the bad side. I mean, if we had seen this prior, maybe I'd buy that she was working for the good side, trying to do something right. But I'm sure, as all good villains, she thinks she's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Right. So
you won't buy my idea.
No, I will not.
Okay.
Wolf in order throws in 2 of them. And did you not hear me?
Not really.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Wolfbane's Network, $2. What if they arrive during the 09 Spock wormhole? How about no?
What does that even mean? Don't even.
Oh, the wormhole's a 2-way thing, so
it wasn't. It was a black hole, not a wormhole.
Exactly.
It was a black hole to an alternate universe. So it'd have to be. No, I like that you thought interesting there, but nothing about that would work. Like, not a single sausage.
So you're wrong. It's not a single sausage.
Yeah.
Anyway, Judge 1981 throws in $10. Thank you, Judge.
Oh, thank you.
$5 donations for the 2 commanders. Well, sweet.
Oh,
would you get like $10 for each captain that's join at the captain rank, and like how much for each admiral? Anyway, thank you very much, Judge. Much appreciated. James McGill at $1.99. Isn't forced mind melds illegal among Vulcans? It is. It wasn't really like. It wasn't a mind meld like in the traditional sense with the one hand. It was like both hands. It was maybe that's proof she's Romulan. She needs both hands to be able to do it properly.
I mean, it was non-consensual, but it wasn't. It didn't hurt her. You know what I mean? Like it was a. But
it did. It fucked up her brain. Like she's like now saw this thing, and she's like,
yeah.
I wish I hadn't seen the thing that it showed me.
Yeah, but she needed her help, and it was that essential. Because I like that there was still an interesting power dynamic in the scene. That obviously she knows that she's one of the top-ranking officers in the entire Federation. She's kind of accepting whatever she does and thinks up until the point where it all goes haywire. And
anti-Trekker, I disagree. Trekyards, it was not forced. The doctor said okay as she put her hands on her face. No, she put her hands on her face and she went, oh, okay. Like, what the hell are you doing? It wasn't like, oh, yeah, I totally give you permission.
Yeah,
totally different kind of okay there.
It would, yeah, it's okay once the hand's already on you. It's like you're kissing a girl at a club, your hand's already on her butt, you say, is this okay? She says, absolutely. It's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, but you've already made that step to your hand on the butt.
Yeah, and Jarzia is like, yeah, as in, okay, I guess this is happening.
Yeah. But she trusts her because she's on the heads of security of the Federation, so you don't get the sense she's like, you creep. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Commander O of the Federation. Cool.
Anti-Trekker said it was passive consent. She did not say, no, don't do that.
Well, that's why I'm calling it mind meld rape like Valeris. It was a neutral thing where it'd be nice if O had said, I need to show you, do you consent? Would you let me?
Yeah. One thing I did like... Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's fine.
One thing I did like about the scene was when Jurati said, am I in trouble?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, not at all, actually. We just need your help. Yep. Like, she didn't say, you will be if you don't help us, or she didn't threaten her, which I kind of assumed earlier on that she had threatened her, like, whatever.
Yep, absolutely.
So that was kind of a nice touch, because playing the nice guy again, head of Starfleet security, you're going to trust this person, right?
Well, so I said the vibe was suddenly this whole different vibe of not pleasantness, but, like, she's the hero. She knows with
the
anti-Trekker. See you next time. With a heavy heart, she knows this is what must be done. To bring someone else into this knowledge is sad for her because it'll basically ruin this woman's life. And I'm wondering if the only real reason to have the sunglasses was to, in the first time we see them, give us the sense of disconnect with the actress and whatever. And then here, her eyes look so much more characterful, and you see the remorse in her eyes, which you wouldn't have seen, or it would have tapered our original construct of the first time we saw her. If we'd seen her looking really sad, you'd think, oh, okay. But without that human contact, she plays it very cold. Here, she plays it much more like you see what's going on in her brain. But that's such a forced little cheat. It's it's not a very smart way of doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. James McGill, $2. Is it possible to send false images through mind meld? Yes. Yes, I believe so. I don't see why not. As long as you yourself believe it, it's kind of like one of those. Even what Soji said in the last episode, he thinks he's telling the truth, but I still don't believe it, or I still don't trust him.
Yeah,
possibly.
Yeah. Which is definitely a great scene. I mean, a mind meld. It all depends on the quality of who's doing it. If you're a trained person, like a mind meld isn't just an open door for a trained person. It's a chosen situation. You know, when Spock showed alternate Kirk all the information, he showed him a specific journey and story. And in fact, he showed him pictures of Romulus getting destroyed that he couldn't have seen. So they weren't memories, they were things that he knew happened in his extrapolation. So by that extrapolation, I mean, you know, so I think it's more a case of he's sharing ideas with them. But if you believe, you know, I'm pretty sure you could fake a mind meld if you're that good. But especially the person who's taking the mind meld, if they know no better, especially Jurati, she's so innocent and inexperienced that she wouldn't know the difference. That's why there is this sense that actually these things might be false, or at least heavily biased. Because that's one of the interesting things when you look at first-hand accounts, is that they are first-hand and biased by their very nature. I heard an interesting story ages ago of a homeless guy in America, and it was somebody who, in a parking lot, went up to a lady's car and took a handbag out of it and walked away. And someone called the police, and the police came. But the context of people watching it looked one way. In reality, the lady was helping the homeless guy, and he gave her food every week at the same place at the same time via bags. One person saw it without context and through their own bias, and the other person knew because they were there. And so, if this person thinks the synths killed everybody, or at least hates them enough to will that, then they'll present it in a certain way. And I certainly hope we get a two-sided perspective here. Although it's hard to obviously have perspective with a bombing of a planet. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because we had kind of talked about with Rhonda, the mythology of the Romulans, even though there's no word for mythology, which I really hate that she said that because I can't refer to it as the mythology of the Romulans now. But anyway, where they know about this destroyer. And if they've been told these tales since they were kids or whatever, it's just like a full, like a story that you tell your kids. It could be like created in the mind's eye. You see the event happening, you know that it's going to happen. Or at least you have it's prophesized to happen. Whatever. You could create false memories or images of that, and be able to just basically tell the story, the little tale, via the mind meld. With just visuals. Yep. So, I mean, if you look at it that way, it could be that she's Romulan. And I speculated early on that she was Romulan, even though she had a IDIC thing on her desk. But very easy to infiltrate the Federation when you look Vulcan. So.
Well, I think that the acting of O in this episode is much more Vulcan, and the mind meld is the biggest clue. Again, everything is pointing to Vulcan. But I do want to bring up one thing specifically, and this links in. Let me go back to the pictures for a second. So we obviously have the initiation, but the first image we really see is Commodore O in what appears to be this past or future event. which is really the thing that kind of puts you as a wait, what? But you said the most genius thing I think possible in a previous video, that this is very likely a Kotra, a Vulcan consciousness that has continued down the line and is now inhabiting O, and therefore she sees herself in this place because that's her current body, but all we're seeing is how she sees herself right now as she lived in this body. But the Kotra of this person was here at the start, and that's a way of keeping the memory of what happened alive, is by literally keeping the memory of what happened alive. And that would explain
passing the torch.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that from Surak to Enterprise. This is not much further of a leap. It was your idea, Stuart, but what do you think now I'm repointing it out? Because I thought that was such a nice game changer.
I mean, that would make a lot of sense, because it passed important information on via a Katra or mind meld. And yeah, that means this could be centuries old. This could be even thousands of years old. This could be the forming of the Zhat Vash. Even though from these flashbacks we see some guns and things, and I think they're more tying with modern guns. I think they would have changed. So I like the Katra idea. I think it works, but
yeah, it's clever, and it allows you to have these flashbacks, but it is still a memory. She's showing herself because it's easy to explain, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Toreth69 puts in $2, 178 watching, 91 likes. And Super Coops, £2. Hit like, guys. Hashtag pointy sticky out ears like Spike. Yeah, well, just the way her hair gets pushed behind them, it pushes them forward. That's all. Jeff Jacobs, $2.02, 102 likes. Nice. Again at 150. We need 200. Hashtag make Jeff pay. We have 183 of you here. If you have not hit like, please do so. Eugene, 500 rubles. Thank you very much. So, what's your bets on this vision being 1, memories of the past, 2, prophecies of the future, or 3, memories of the future? Ooh. Well, that's what this discussion's about. Prophecies of the future or memories of the future, as opposed to memories of the past. That's interesting. Like I said, if it's the Romulan equivalent of the mythological story, then it's a prophecy of the future, something that's destined to happen. Memories of the past, I mean, obvious, whatever, this happened long ago or whatever. And then memories from the future, so she's saying she's a time traveler that's come back, or she somehow received this information from the future.
The problem is, it would be weird to time travel again 2 seasons in a row. That's not really the sort of thing you do to work creatively bankrupt, but that's just something you don't tend to do. That's why flashback is more. That's why Katra is a good way around that, because it is time travel, but not really. But let's jump through the pictures and we can circle back, because we keep talking about them vaguely. But obviously you've got O, then you've got the circle going with all the energy, and there is more pictures in the predictions of next week, but I don't necessarily want to use those because that'll be our Wednesday video. So we're kind of sticking with what we do know, and obviously now everyone's seen the ones. They have a really, really interesting picture, which is this lady, Romulan person or Vulcan, smashing a rock down on somebody, and green blood smearing. Hard to get the rock as first frame, but yeah, that is a rock, very visceral doing. And then the thumbnail picture of very gigantic explosion, and somebody very gorily ripping their own face, maybe? We'll see. And then the explosion of a planet, which happens to have a Discovery shuttle, so just for added context, you better hope this is meant to be a premonition of Earth being destroyed, because there's another Discovery shuttle. So if this is the past Romulus, then past Romulus has Discovery shuttles. And you know what? I wouldn't even be surprised for a second.
No, and that's sad.
Yep.
Jeff Jacobs, $2. Romulans and Vulcans are about the same. Is a discipline. Mind melding, yes.
Yes, but Vulcans learned to keep doing it, Romulans didn't. So it'd be harder to relearn, I would assume.
And Luke Marcher Celeste will join the channel. He is the rank of captain, so welcome, Captain. Nice to see you. Thank you very much.
Well done, Luke. You outranked me already. Well done, well done.
Discovery shuttles were the secret villains all along, says Eugene. Yes.
I mean, yeah.
It's a glitch in the Matrix.
Yes. But speaking of bloody glitch in the Matrix, a very graphic shoot yourself in the head bit with incredibly CGI blood and death effect. It's not great, but it's so quick. So someone commits suicide?
Sure seems like it. Sure seems like. I mean, and it's actually the same visual almost as F8 shooting himself in the head. So I don't know if there's a tie in there. I don't know if there's a tie in there, unless this is the catalyst. Maybe she was controlling F8 via some kind of link, and she had to kill herself for F8 to kill himself. I don't know, but it's the same thing. So
that is actually brilliant. What if that part of how they hacked the androids was to give them the memories of the people originally, and the androids are built to help humans. So if you give them the understanding that their kind will kill all humans, then maybe they as the androids decided themselves to go ahead and destroy everything. Wouldn't that be an interesting twist? They were hacked, but only as so much as they were shown the truth. And they were allowed to think for themselves for the first time. They decided to... Okay, graphically killing the people in the room is not really great. That does not correspond to that. But yeah, the fact that that's so similar is a really interesting point. No, well said.
Yeah. Judge 1981 throws in $20.
Oh,
Thank goodness. You. He says $20 donation for the new captain.
Wow.
We need to get more people joining the channel if Judge 1981 is going to be around.
So Judge is matching things. Stuart, please remind us what joining is, because that seems to be a thing that he is putting here. Oh, this is good.
You want to join us? You want to join our collective? Be one of us. One of us. Yeah. One of us. You can click the little join button down by the subscribe button, or if you're on a mobile device, as long as it's not iOS, you can hit the super chat button, the $sign, and there's a join option, and then it's basically like the YouTube version of Patreon, because it's like a monthly thing, but you get a badge beside your name, you get your name highlighted, you get we call out your name and your comments and videos, and you also get the access to the emojis and stuff. So lots of great stuff. Go check it out, and there's 3 different levels.
And we get to know who you are by the comments and the super chats, and this does go for all the other videos as well. So if you comment, we'll see, and if there's anything, then we'll comment extra. No, very cool, very cool.
James McGill, $2. Show your fans how the Vulcan death grip is done. It's kind of like it's on the forehead. It's weird. There's no such thing as Vulcan death grip. So you tried to fool me, but you're wrong. Yeah. Mark Lawrence, $5. Somehow 20th century Earth will have Discovery shuttles.
Yep.
Yeah. One in my driveway, actually. I don't know when I got there, but it just showed up.
I mean, I could probably do that in CGI if you wanted.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great for an next Indiegogo video, just as a reference? Film it together and outside, and just all the time Discovery shuttles, and we're like, wow.
Yeah. Have us on screen, and then Discovery shuttle in the background, and then we're here at my house, and pan across the driveway, and there's a Discovery shuttle parked in the driveway.
Or we pick a time there's no cars on the street, and we get 2 lawn chairs and film outside, and I put Discovery shuttles outside every single house. The entire road is filled, just passively, not actively, just they're sitting there. Wow, the cars, we're in, everyone's Discovery shuttle. It's amazing, everyone.
They're so nice. It's such a great design. Why would you want anything else? We're not even going to advance the tech at all, ever. It's perfect. Yeah. So,
yes.
I was going to say, I mean, this could be a Zot Vosh thing specifically as well. That they have, either this is the information from the past that they passed down. Why are you so close to the camera?
Oh, I mean, sorry. Well, we get very close to Jurati, and in her eyes, it looks like you see a tent or a window.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I think we're just seeing the camera in her eye, because it's hard not to get things. But there totally isn't just an admiral outside. There's totally she's in a room. It looks to me. There's a window there. There's decoration and stuff, even though she's not. She should be outside. I mean, do you know what I mean? It's graphically close, but it's not. It's not what you'd see if she was not indoors.
That being said, the reflection in Commodore OH's glasses was quite obviously Girardi. And then people were wondering, was that the reason for the glasses, for that dramatic effect, her seeing herself?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah. And then we also have the entire planet cracking, which is actually a really cool effect. And that's not something we normally see in that sort of way. I can't imagine there's anything but symbolic. So she's saying, if you don't help us, these planets will crack. Although, how synthetics would crack a planet,
well,
you know.
It would be based off that explosion we saw, I think. That would be the precursor to that happening.
Yes.
But interestingly enough, when I saw that explosion and we're talking about Sochi being the destroyer, maybe her power cell gets broken, and that's her explosion. That's how she explodes. Much bigger than Dodge. Yeah.
Yeah, much bigger. Yeah, Dodge was something low.
Well, it just wasn't activated. It's like a nuclear weapon. You can blow one up, but it wasn't activated, so it doesn't actually detonate. You know what I mean? So that is a big goddamn explosion.
It really is. It's a good looking explosion, but it's gonna be some sort of metaphorical explosion, or maybe this was the home world of the first synths, and they blew it up to the point of no evidence. Or it could be Maddox's planet. They didn't think Romulus's molecular deconstruction was enough. They thought it just blew up the entire planet. Which that would be quite a cool thing to see. Maddox leave, the whole planet blows up. He's like, wow, really, guys? No trace. Yep. Wow.
It's one hell of a molecular solvent.
But hey, Data's survived complete destruction apparently. So as far as brain did. But you'd assume it was a flashback, but seeing O in it changes that. But that could obviously be her. Again, these things. We know trailers lie. We know producers lie. We know things change. But that could just be a combination of two different things. The O stuff is the present day stuff that she meets with the Jat Vash or Section 31 or something modern. And there's things from the past. So it's two sets of imagery that is totally different that were just being put together.
Or because if it is a Katra vision or just a mythological tale, she's just standing there in her own vision, seeing it, and being part of it. But that seems a little stretchy. But anyway,
but I'm assuming that. Well, will we even see this again? Is this even relevant in the sense that this was just there enough to tell us about something, or at least tell us that Girardi sees something? But are we even going to see these imageries again? Is that even that important?
I would say so. I would hope so. I want to see them again.
So I feel like that explosion in the city must be Earth. I mean, it'd be ludicrous if it was a Romulan city that got blowed up that happens to have Discovery shuttles. That's daft.
Oh yeah, there's no Romulan architecture. There's no visible monuments like the the Eiffel Tower or something in the background, which they normally would do if they're showing Earth. But
it could just be a civilian settlement. I don't think it needs to look like the Senate building. Random planet. Well, Dan says the new weapon can blow up planets. Yeah. A 22nd century weapon given 31st century knowledge can blow up planets. So there's certainly, potential there.
Yeah. And Brian Delaney just joined the channel in the rank of Captain.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
Captain Brian.
Captain Delaney, how you doing today, sir? Welcome to the team. Dan23 in Star Trek Into Darkness has a reaction when the ring is put into a cup of water and then the place blows up. And just got to drop something like a big version of that into like an ocean, and that's what it is. You got it.
Yeah. Then it go boom like this, Stuart. Very impressive.
Judge 1981, another $20. Hey, another captain, and another $20.
My God.
I'm a captain.
Yes, but you've got more than $120 over the years, Stuart.
That's true.
Thank you, Judge. That's amazing. You're single-handedly making this single super chat successful, so thank you. Brilliant.
And Telma ML said, I never got my captain thing. What do you mean, Telma? Did you join the channel? Because you're not showing as a member right now. Let us know. Taurus 69, $2, 233 watching, 131 likes, 228 watching according to mine. But yes, guys, if you're here, please hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel.
It's important. So, it really is. Because I want to see at least 150 likes in the next minute. Please
do it.
You.
While I'm reading Eugene's super chat, I think they're going up right now as we speak. 250 rubles. Maybe pass to Girardi just her memory about a ritual, when ritual itself is contract with her more powerful collective Katric archive with horrific memories.
Yeah, maybe every present day agent has to have some Katra memory implanted into them. Or memory of memories, so that they then understand. Because if this is such a horror, then can you really be told about it? You have to be shown it. But then what if? And again, I'm really extrapolating with nothing here. What if part of the splitting or sharing of Katra memories over the last 3,000, 4,000 years has actually then hurt the Katra each time and caused the memory to become less and less. Copying an original, and now it's quite a corrupted perspective thing that now,
replicative fading.
Yes. Yep. Because the cartridges aren't meant to be accessed and then de-accessed that much, and so then their hunting at synthetics comes from a misunderstanding of the first synthetic, but now they think of it another way. It'd be an easy solution, not probably very satisfying, but.
Yeah.
Definitely something.
Well, let's see here. Jarzia throws in $5. For the new captain, the fleet keeps growing, and we're going to need all the ships we can get to fight off the disco shuttle apocalypse.
He's not wrong. It's everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. CJ O'Neill puts in $20 and says, greetings. That's it. Greetings to you. Live long and prosper. And all that jazz. Thank you. That's very helpful.
It's amazing helpful. I think it's really incredible. And Telma LL said she did join. I just de-joining and rejoin, I suppose, if that's doable, because it doesn't show up. So please stop and restart.
Yeah, because it says that you joined and then you got the little badge beside your name and you're highlighted. So I don't know what's going on there. Sorry. Must be a YouTube issue. The Ronin puts in $5.
Thank you.
Howdy, guys. Has there been any more talks on this plot tying into Discovery Control? Not a fan of that idea. Can't really articulate why.
That's a great segue to talk about that.
I can articulate why, because it's stupid.
Why? Why?
Because. No, I don't want it to tie into Control. It will tie into Discovery, I think. But I don't think it's going to have anything to do with Control. I hope Control is long forgotten. I hope it's not mentioned again, personally. The whole Control leading up to the creation of the Borg and stuff that people were speculating when Season 2 was happening, we were like, no, we don't need a Borg origin story.
And we didn't report on it on purpose.
Yeah. We did mention a few times, though, that we didn't want that, because a lot of people would comment, and we'd have to read that. So
we mentioned that it was wrong.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk about it separately. And just to give some context why the Control thing is a weird one. Control is a paradox in and of itself, because Control was an evolution of a Section 31 program, which at some point after Discovery, dozens of years, hundreds of years, whatever, was a given sphere data access by the Starfleet just finding it. It then evolved by itself over the course of however many years, and then in the future, a long time in the future, killed everyone. That's the future. Then, the sphere data, because Michael Burnham's mum saw this future, was altered its course so that it wouldn't allow Control to find it, instead Discovery find it earlier, to remove Control's from getting it. Control then managed to somehow get back in time. We still don't know how, and infect some people, and allowed the Control program to get into the earlier version of Control and make it already alive before it was meant to be alive. Even though they keep saying we have to stop it from being alive, even though it's already here, baby. It's alive. The whole program is here. It can control ships like that. So you've already achieved. So in fact, Burnham's mum started the apocalypse early, but allowed them to stop it early. But because then they move the sphere data out of the realm of the ability for Control to get it, and they also Control as a program was shown to be a wrong device. Control was then destroyed in the past, which meant it never could get to be the future. So Control never exists in the normal Prime timeline because it stopped from existing at its earliest point. So there is no Control in the future. And if Control did come, if this is the Control future, then Discovery didn't stop Control, and then what's the point? Because the whole point of the season, they stopped Control in the past and the present and the future. There is no more Control. And we know there isn't any Control because the 31st century exists, the 29th century exists. All the centuries of Trek that exist after happened. So they're in the post-Control destruction timeline. So this can't happen after that because it's already been destroyed.
And that's why it's stupid.
Yes.
That was a great summation.
Unless this is the pre-Discovery Burnham time sending back universe, which would mean that they might see Control be born in the present because it might find the sphere data and then it gets sent back in time. No, it doesn't. It doesn't actually. But then it would kill everyone in the universe. So that's irrelevant. But this might be the non-altered universe yet. But then that means that the TNG happen in both timelines. It wouldn't be happening both identically.
It wouldn't happen identically. That word.
Yeah. Suppose there is no Control post-universe.
Only Zool.
There is only Zool. What a curveball. My brain there. That's great.
Sorry.
There is no Control as only Zool.
Maybe Control needs Soji. He needs a synth organic to continue being Control. I don't know. That's why she's the destroyer. Devin Larson, sorry, $5. Maybe using two hands, she can see future event possibilities. With the double-handed mind meld?
Nah.
I'd say no. Jeff Jacobs, $2, 151 likes, 239 watching. Now we need 300. Hashtag make Jeff pay. Don't forget the 300 viewers, but we gotta try.
Hezraz is guest control is connected to the Borg. It is not. And Clear Floss construction. The Doomsday Machine was designed to fight the Borg. Not canon. Only in the book. Well, it's an idea. It's good. It's great.
Great book. Great book.
Yes.
The Ronin puts another $5. What I do want it to tie into the machine race that rebuilt Voyager. Voyager.
Well, yeah.
Oh, which was Voyager 6.
Real Voyager. That's a hefty thing to connect to. The thing is, these writers aren't that smart. How would that?
That's the problem.
How would that connect?
I could see, somebody talented in writing could do that, but with the writers we have, they're going to be like, "Oh, Discovery, we did a thing. Let's tie into that." So,
or going to do a thing, and we'll link in the future show.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the joke is that I could very much see, weirdly, if Picard season 1, erase it for a second, just a quick second, right? If instead of everything we got, what if instead Vija's planet, obviously the planet that Vija was whatever, what if they actually came to find what happened to Vija and they hate Earth for being organics? They only like synthetic life forms. And they're so powerful because that would make sense. They created Vija, la la la. And then they got to bring Picard out of retirement. And only with Borg tech can they help to defeat it because the Borg are advanced in a similar way, just not as far. That's
interesting.
Because then you would have a villain who's been pre-set up, but it's a villain out of pure not understanding. and they'll have to use the Borg Queen to help kill V'Ger, because V'Ger thinks all life, as in V'Ger's creator, thinks all life is worth not as much as it. And the Borg, while being partially organic, means they're not good enough. And so, what if then the Borg Queen, as Krieg in the show, would come in and say, Locutus, what? We have to team up to destroy this V'Ger planet threat people, because we count as not good enough. And then you get a great team up movie with Picard and series. What do you think? Wouldn't that have been better?
Yeah, well, you amaze me every time when you come up with those things, because they are always better.
And then you can have this brilliant scene of Alice Krieger, the as a hologram Borg Queen, sitting down in a room with Janeway, Seven of Nine, and Picard. And Data. Data wouldn't be dead. He'd be Law. He'd be whatever. Wouldn't that be a great little conversation? Both, very very unique perspectives on the Queen. Those people.
Yes. Sorry, when I laughed earlier when you started talking, wasn't it you?
No,
It was that Nicole Malot's comment. She says, these writers could not write a good VCR manual. That's just mean, but damn. But Decker is part of Voyager. Or V'Ger. I don't know, I keep saying Voyager.
I know, but it wouldn't be V'Ger, it'd be the original planet. That's why it's really interesting. I do really like the Star Trek Legacy approach to the Borg and V'Ger, and it's a great background.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Andrew Reynolds. Anyone remember in Enterprise, the race and tech that rebuilt and fixed the ship? And at the end of the episode, after it was destroyed, it started rebuilding itself. That was like the Christine episode of Star Trek. But yeah, I always wanted that thing to come back. That was cool. No,
it's brilliant. It was one of the best episodes, actually.
Yeah.
Early on, especially, like really one of the best.
Yeah.
I know I've told you this before, but from my perspective, that show's a little bit different. Once I started getting files from Enterprise, that it is Deadlock. What's the episode called? Drylock, Deadlock. Google it for me, if you will.
I think it's Deadlock.
Yeah. In the repair station. There we go. In the actual show, it's credited as a Tellarite station. That's what they had it called in their scene file constructy things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dead Stop. That's the episode.
Oh, well, there we go. Close. So whoever was internal thought it might have been Tellarite. I believe it was a Tellarite on the station. And he was one of the guys hooked up. But yeah, it's called a Tellarite station. It was in the Tellarite folder. But yeah, I really like that episode. That's great.
It is. It's definitely one of the best episodes of Trek, I think. Not just Enterprise, but
it's a great concept, and those are always a good thing. It's kind of like Think Tank, which I just watched. It's another great concept, and it honestly could work for any of the shows. They're so universal concepts of like, okay, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But that one has the unique horror factor that most Trek doesn't have. And the fact that it keeps growing, boy, that needed. I believe though they'd said that in season, if they'd been in season 5, that would have been a follow-up episode. I believe they'd been written down that thing would have come back. Yeah.
Laura Actual says, late to the party, but it kind of looks like Picard's ancient Vulcans before Romulans left are going for something like BSG with the AI. Maybe that's what caused the split, caused the schism.
We've said that, yeah. Well, one of the many things.
Yeah.
But I mean, would you like to see live action visuals of the pre-split when they are all Vulcans? But yeah.
I would. But that should be something else. That shouldn't be tied to this story. That should be something else entirely. But I think that'd be cool to see for sure.
I don't know how that would feel though, because they both should like. What is a pre-Serac emotion Vulcan, and then a Romulan version pre? I mean, they should be a bit the same, but would it act like humans though? Because that's all their base traits, so they're no longer part of it. But I guess depends how far back you go, because further back than that, they're very warlike. and they kill each other and such.
Well, maybe one group says, we should create a secret organization. We'll call it Section 1-3. And, and those are the Romulans that split off, and the Vulcans are like, oh, that doesn't make much sense. Why?
Or, I just had a thought, Stuart. What if the Tal Shiar was created by Tasha Yar going back in time because of Control and Burnham and the Jatvash to set up the Tal Shiar. Tal Shi meaning big lol, Yar changing the entire paradigm to secret organization. No one could predict it. And then we'll see a flashback of her in the past with Vulcans and Romulans, I guess. Yeah, but it's a clone of Tasha Yar based on Seela's DNA. So in essence, it's Seela's cloned granddaughter who's got genetic memories of Tasha Yar. So in fact, Tasha Yar is now her own great great grandmother and great 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 granddaughter.
I'd buy that for $1.
And that's the Katra inside Q. Oh, I was about to say Q there. Inside O is Tasha Yar's clone granddaughter's consciousness. There you go. And that's why they hate Data. That's why they hate androids, because Data never asked her on a second date. So all that resentment came back in. Mm-hmm. He had his fun with her.
Or she got impregnated by his whatever and gave birth to like a weird synth organic thing. No, anyway. Joel sent us a PayPal. So thank you, Joel. $5 PayPal. And he says, I'm hoping Starfleet Command has been infiltrated again by those parasitic beings that took over Remick. That would explain why they're such dicks now.
I wouldn't be against that as a concept, I'll be honest.
I wouldn't either. I love how the original story was those were the prelude. They worked for the Borg before the Borg actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it never panned out that way, and then they dropped it and then went with the Borg.
I mean, talk about them saying this isn't a sequel to TNG. If it was a bloody sequel to TNG Season 1 episode Conspiracy, I mean, what balls on them? And how cool would that be if they're the ones that hate synths? Because their race was almost destroyed by an uprising of synthetics from a nearby race, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's interesting. I like that. I mean, it's heavy duty canon stuff. I mean, just seeing them back could be great. I know Stowe did a storyline on them, but I haven't played that. But they'd be fun to bring back. Or at least that's why they never did come back, if that makes sense. Because that was such an open-ended situation that... Yeah. And Sven says he hopes Data becomes an organic synth. Yes! We want Brent back. It's his excuse to continue playing Data, but a different version of Data. Because it'll be human Data as a post-Data Data.
And how awesome would that be for the character arc of Maddox? He comes in being an antagonist, very much not a guy you like, to being friends with Data during later TNG, just off screen, and then finally actually giving Data what he's always wanted, kind of that Pinocchio syndrome. Yeah, and that'd be great, but it's very cleverly written, and that won't happen.
Not just that, but continuing the research of Sung, because you could argue that's where it was always going to go, potentially. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the best way. I mean, Brent's such a good actor, and he deserves to be in it more, just to kind of... Because it would be different acting chops. You know, he played every bit of Data, but to see that... and then you could have Soji and Data form a bond, form a relationship of, daughter and father, and learn the world together, because Data will be less than 3 years old again. Mm-hmm. She'll be 3 years, although she's reset her memory, so she'll be basically a year old. Yeah, no.
That's how the season should end. Take this unit down and have its memory erased to Soji. like Star Wars with C3. Never mind. Judge 1981, $2.
Thank you.
Commander, my head hurts.
Yeah.
My brain hurts also.
There's some really good stuff they could do. And I think for the most part we came up with better ideas in Discovery Season 2 than they did.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because None of them were rocket science.
Yep.
But it's also from the outside observer. We're seeing how the pictures are fitting together. But once they're inside it, not saying one's better or worse, but you're seeing what you want to do and not seeing how there could be clever options. You've already written it. You've already put it together. And often things don't come together as well on screen they do in script. Part of Convergence is that they actually, some, like one in particular, didn't work as well on screen. Just didn't. I've had to rewrite and do a reshoot because it just didn't work as well. Yeah.
Justin Hampton says, think Data's mom helped make him. Maybe she was the most advanced android after all. I would love a reference to Lal. I would love a reference to Data's mom, essentially, at some point.
What was amazing about that is in the Ready Room, Riker, Jonathan Frakes mentioned Lal really quickly in their interview, saying, yeah, I remember like your other daughter, Lal. And Fred's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, they remembered, and they haven't, they haven't had to think about Lal for decades. And it's like, why isn't the show mentioning? I mean, Trekyards, they've done some good references. And my favourite one, I think, at this point, for obscure, is the lunchbox with the... Because that's great. That's such a...
The Adventures of Flaughter, yeah.
Perfect, beautiful. But you also need the heavy linking stuff. I know Chabon said, we don't want to include all... let's not talk about the Dominion War, it'll bottle stuff down, even though that's a huge, massive war that is the biggest war ever. I mean, it beats the Klingon War, beat the Cardassian War, beat the Xindi War. I wouldn't call that a war, but JJ did, or at least Simon Pegg did. Just mention he had another daughter. The first daughter, Lal, was fully synthetic. Although she had the right skin tone, didn't she? So you could...
She did, yes.
So, I mean, she didn't act human, but she could learn to act human. So if skin tone wasn't a problem, and even Data could make us fully skin tone, do we think that's just the aesthetic choice? Doesn't seem that difficult, does it really?
Captain Kenny says, dude, they go to conventions. A lot of fans ask stuff about Lal and such, and the writers didn't. Yeah. No,
I'm sure, yeah. I mean, Brent, I'm sure more than not. But I mean, Riker, I'm not, I think he directed that one as well. But, yes. But if you're designing a story about Data's daughter, the first thing you do is Google Data and find his daughter. So they would have thought about it more than the actors who do a few conventions a year. So, and I doubt there's 10,000 people at each event. So was it like working with your daughter, Lal? And Brent's like, yep, told the story before, this weekend, 3 times. It's not his most asked question, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, Prime1351 puts in $5. Didn't the producer strongly employ O as a Romulan? Well, she said employ. Or they said employ, not she, sorry. How does this scene even work? Sorry if obvious.
I don't think implying she's Romulan at all, given her dialogue and her acting and the way she's directed.
And they were implying that she was Vulcan, actually, because on her desk there's a little box with a little IDIC symbol. It's too much overkill, obviously, because they panned over it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, she's obviously Vulcan. I think she's Romulan all along, but...
Well, as we said, just being a Romulan admiral seems daft.
She's not an admiral; she's a Commodore, and
well, that's what I meant. I mean,
she's masquerading as a Vulcan, so there's no problem with that. I don't think.
I know, but you would think because she had to get through the ranks. You think a Romulan could fake being a Vulcan for 70 years to get to the high rank?
I think so.
I guess at that point you become so second nature you wouldn't even feel like a Romulan anymore because you are acting like a.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yeah, but that it feels like a contrived thing. That doesn't feel like a natural thing, and that's the problem,
Mm-hmm. Taurus 69, $2, 278 watching, 176 likes. Come on, guys, let's hit that 200 like mark. I challenge you to do it. Do it now. Prime 1351, another $5.
Thank you.
It was something like the fans were upset about the sunglasses. So one of the producers said, "And what should that tell you about O?" Oh yeah, that was one of the comments. And what should that tell you about O? Something about her's off. Wow. Good job, guys. Yeah, I think that's just silly. You called that earlier too. Like it was meant to have that disconnect from her character, but it wasn't subtle at all. They tried because their commander bars were rotated. Yeah. You're like, oh, that's too subtle. What do we got? Yo, cameraman, give me your glasses.
I appreciate Chabon's answering questions, though he's answering them in a very
cryptic way.
Well, as if he's got an agenda, rather than actually like. I mean, obviously he's going to defend his own decisions because they obviously had to go through producers, writers, directors, actors, editors. I mean, there's all these people had to look at it. It's like, what did we say? Oh, the Discovery Shuttles. Like, how many people did those things have to go through to go on screen? And all of them said it was okay, which shows you there's something seriously wrong over there. If that many people involved didn't say no or didn't say this is wrong, that tells you something bad. So Chabon, I think he said about sunglasses specifically that A, it was because there'll be a payoff later, and B, because they wanted to have a vibe of like a special agent going to see somebody and have the same sort of I'm a secret agent vibe coming to get you. And it's like, okay, right, that's your rationale. Last time we saw sunglasses was on the beach. Different context.
And Geordi in First Contact, but that was as part of his disguise. So
he wouldn't. Yeah, he's replicating current century clothing. He's not going to bring modern day replicated sunglasses with him because then that'll be new materials. He's going to replicate stuff from that period. Yeah, everything he wore was from the period. So yeah, they're of the period sunglasses. That's a great counter there. And if Barclay's into a holiday resort, he's like, F it. We're all about classic here, you know?
Yeah. DX2069, $5. Remember in TNG, there was an ambassador that was pretending to be Vulcan, but was Romulan, so there is a precedent. Yeah. That was a great episode, too. Yeah, I know. Ambassador is easier to fake, though, than, as Samuel said, climbing up through the ranks. Unless you kill somebody that's actually a Vulcan that was being transferred from another station or something, and you take their place. But that seems like a bit of a stretch as well. So, interesting. But yeah, Medallion. Chabon is just fucking with us.
Well, the thing is, he's off the show now, and if he left the show by choice, that's one thing. But if he was asked not to return, then he's going to have some small resentment there. I mean, Brian Fuller doesn't do interviews about it, doesn't talk about it. He, stays ultra quiet because there's nothing good to say. He was fired under all the worst circumstances, and now his name's attached to a project he has no, love for. Created by Jim Roddenberry and Brian Fuller and Alex Kurtzman. It's like, God damn it, you stole my idea and you got to sell me as doing it, and then ruined it for me, and then took off my designs and didn't. Because I can imagine Brian certainly had a plan. Like, you can't remotely say that Control was designed from season 1. Whereas Fuller, I can imagine maybe had a 2 or 3 or 4 year arc designed, even if it was subconscious, like as in subconscious to the show. He had an idea, but he was leading, and then suddenly gets yanks Control away from him after episode 3, and it's like, wow, reset, and then wow, the ratings, people don't like it, which I should do. Hard reset again. Let's invent the Enterprise and do a hard reset. And then the end of season 2, let's do a hard reset. Actually, go to the future because we have to rewrite it so we can get there. Hopefully this season have the same showrunner. Well, they finished filming now. They didn't swap showrunners, so this season might be the most conducive to a proper season because actually had the same showrunner for the entire season, and it was that lady, which actually met, and she was fine. Although I still love the fact that in her first appearance on the behind the scenes thing, she asked, "Who's her favourite character in all Star Trek?" And she said Spock, and it's like, wow, the one you could think of as the character you've been working with and you have the most familiarity with. Clearly, you're not the biggest fan of Star Trek because there's so many characters better than in terms of like personal. You could tell she blagged that answer because it's the most. Yeah, you could tell she was blagging that.
Brady Jarvis puts in $2. Can Romulans mind meld though? We've talked about this many times. Yes, they probably can if they learn it, because they're physiologically capable of it, just like Vulcans. So don't see why not.
Yeah, they might have. I mean, part of mind melding I could see being because it's the innate psychic powers, but Romans don't tend to have. In terms of we've never seen Romans use them, whereas Vulcans do. But also the control element that if you practice all the self control, then you can control go into people's minds. So I can see it being a like all these decades of relearning certain mentalities, building them into the culture. Whereas Romans are a different breed of thought, of action, and while yes, they're not going to be genetically very different, they probably have the vague ability, but it would take some serious like learning, unlocking of potential. I don't think any Roman could do it innately, except maybe like the radical variant 1 or 2, like the genetic mutant that's an innate thing they have the potential to do, and then a bit of teaching. But I think it'd be pretty hard to learn.
Yeah, it's like Doctor Strange. I mean, we can all learn those powers if we really apply ourselves.
Yeah, no, it's a decent comparison.
That makes you wonder too, though. Do Romulans go through Pon farr? Do they only mate once every 7 years?
No.
I don't think so.
I think
exactly.
But because again, they biologically must be a bit different, especially since now they have ridges. Vulcans have no ridges, so why did living on the North Continent for 3,000 years give them ridges? Well, they obviously had enough changes to do that.
We talked about that too. They wanted to maybe separate themselves from the Vulcans in some way, or they tried to manipulate their DNA. Remember,
the mixing.
No, the Southerners are they're level heads. They're level-headed.
Okay. No,
fiddleheads. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, about the Pon farr thing. I mean, I also always assume that's part of the repression as well. Like,
absolutely,
they
it is.
Repress the emotion of sexual desire, and after 3,000 years, it's like they've learned to have a valve, and the valve is just hardcore sex once every 7 years, with their fingers, touching fingers.
Well, that's just the foreplay, I think.
Well, yeah. And then but Romans, there is no repression, so it's just average people, average life, average existence. Which we've talked about how then population growth on Vulcan and such, it's a bit all screwy. Like you would imagine, please stop. You'd imagine that that the Romulan population would be much larger than Vulcan population because, if it's once every 7 years, I'm sure they can mate for non-pleasure reasons, just for procreation reasons. The clinical version, it's like, hello wife, hello, we should have a daughter. That's logical.
Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for joining me in this wonderfully pleasant experience. Oh, you're welcome, husband. And then 4 years later, I need you, bitch. I need you too. Oh. And they just go at it for a weekend. Although, what if your Pon farrs don't light up?
Ooh.
And one is just.
Well, I think it's like menstrual thing with women. Once they hang out long enough, they just get in sync.
Because that would really screw you over. Well, because it's got to be linked to the emotional state. It's got to be linked to, 7 years might just be the point where you can't repress anymore. But I can imagine Romans have a much larger population because it's just fun. There you go.
Would you please stop that? I'm so sorry. Masturbating on live. I'm sorry. Fiddleheads, $2. Chabon got a show based on his award-winning novel. That's why he left.
But obviously he could have maybe put off for a year and still be producer. He's totally off the show. Although they might have, and because remember, Brian Fuller said, they parted ways amicably, and they say things.
The non-canon answer is everyone that was telepathic was killed, and then it died out, and people who were born didn't have the ability, says Dan23. So, if it's not passed on how the skill is done, then But it's easily relearnable. Well, not easily. It'd be relearnable.
Yeah, because
it's like finding ancient... Yeah, it's like finding ancient texts, like from the Shaolin monks, and fighting techniques that have been lost for centuries or something. Same thing.
Or just besides... go to a Vulcan, learn it from them. I mean, it'll take time and practice. We're not discounting this, and I wouldn't be against a Romulan having the ability. Or as you've said, and I'm surprised we forgot about this, that O is a half-half.
Yeah.
She's a hybrid like Valeris, which gives her best of both worlds abilities, and that can give her the connection to Romulus people, and also the Romulan father, Vulcan mother, and that's a good balance. Would be interesting.
Yeah. Jarzia, though, $5. The showrunner for Picard Season 2, Terry Matalas, was a production assistant during Voyager Season 7 and all of Enterprise. Hope he picked up a love for that era of Trek.
So I didn't know they announced a new showrunner, I'll be honest.
I didn't either.
I've Googled him, and yes, production assistant is just that. Isn't very high up, has no creative decisions, really. Associate, not assistant. So assistant producer in Voyager, production associate. That could mean literally anything. It's like how Rod Roddenberry is the executive producer of this show, and he has never had anything to do with it. So there are roles that mean literally nothing. And he's quite new to stuff, apart from, I guess, Star Trek's? Because it went from... Yeah, before that was 12 Monkeys, which is quite new. Blood Drive, quite new. MacGyver, the new one, quite new. And then Picard. Writer... Oh, he wrote 2 episodes of Enterprise. Okay. Impulse and Stratagem. Now that's more legit credit, because you can't just be a writer. Oh, wow, those are good ones, Stuart. This guy... He wrote the Zombie Vulcan episode, where we found out T'Pol's
just
drug
watched that
one.
one 2 nights ago.
And one of my favourites, Stratagem, with Degra in the shuttle faking their past the war. That's one of my personal favourites of Enterprise. That's in my top 5, probably. Okay. If he legit wrote them, that is a good set of credits. Not a lot. And wrote 11 episodes of Terra Nova. Personally, I like Terra Nova. I thought it was good. Not the best.
I love Terra Nova.
Yeah.
Me and Tom both love that show.
Had a lot of potential, but it definitely shouldn't have been cancelled. They just went way over there. Should have spent budgets. This is the guy I'm not too... He definitely has more cred than a lot of people. But it depends how much actual physical work he put in. Do you have a link to the announcement? Because I've not heard that, and you'd think that'd be all out there.
Yeah. Richard Kennedy, £5. Missed episode 7 review. Riker first seen Picard. Their embrace and Riker's red alert has been the best Trek moments in the last 15 years. Emotions were felt. Indeed.
Yeah. No, seriously, yeah, absolutely. Although Thribis says Brian Fuller was involved in Voyager as well. Look how that turned out. Yes, to say let's shave the heads of the Klingons. Let's make all the Klingon ships look not like Klingon ships. Let's make every ship flat. And I mean, these are all wrong decisions, just flat out wrong, because the wrong guy in charge with the wrong ideas. Unless it was going to be like Parallel Universe and he was going to pay that off in like 3 seasons. You know, what a reveal. 3 seasons in, boy, it was a Parallel Universe the entire time. Here are all the clues. Oh my god, you're right. The mycelial mate means that. Would have been kind of cool.
That would have been, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's tricky. So no real cred until you prove it. That's why we don't review actors being cast, because they don't necessarily bring anything they've brought before to the part. You know, it's like, okay, like Sonequa Martin Green, I saw her from New Girl, and it's like the character's not at all alike. So if that was all I was judging her by, it's like, yep, not at all like that. You can't judge what you're gonna get based on that.
Well, Judge 1981, $2. Quote of the day: "I need you, bitch." Benjamin Handelman, $2. I saw Larry Niven. Need email address again.
Trekyards@hotmail.com.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If you ever need the email address, guys, or anything, it's all in the description below of every video. There's ways to get in touch with us and our social media. It's all down there. It's all there every time. Check it out.
And Fisher 2000 says, turnover ended on a good cliffhanger making me want more. Yeah, that's a hell of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, they did that on purpose so that hopefully they would come back.
And they didn't.
But yeah.
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 Oh, and yeah, no, endings are hard. Endings are really hard. And this season, I mean, the problem with this season, especially of Star Trek, is that we've had no season like this except DS9, in that this season will not end the story. It might not even end half the story. It might not even end a quarter of the story. It'll end a bit of the story and hopefully lead on to more. But hopefully, unlike Chris Chibnall and the Doctor Who, where, although I doubt the sincerity of this, but he said that he didn't watch any reviews or read any comments because he didn't think they're important. Therefore, his second season, the one that just went by, was based on no audience feedback. And the audience is the ones that watch your show. And there's a lot of very unified reaction to his show that you would tend to think, okay, maybe I should change some things. If you don't learn from the things that you're doing wrong, or at least, wrong, whatever. Yeah. So interesting what Picard does with a second season, see how they'll change the formula. Hopefully less dystopian. That's their biggest lesson. Less dystopian. Bring in more of the old characters as Picard sees fit. Use them as their purposes demand. Stop killing characters, please. Show more tits. No, I'm kidding.
No,
I was thinking The Witcher for a second. I was like, what makes The Witcher so good?
Yeah.
Then, yeah. They kill a lot of characters though, so that don't different.
Dan23 says, when they say Terra Nova, are they talking about the Enterprise episode or a TV show by the same name? The TV show.
Yes.
We won't talk shale for the overside.
Not a great episode.
We live on the overside, but anyway, Leon Cranston, $2 at Sam Galapagos Finches. The Galapagos Islands. I don't know what he's referring to. But that's okay.
Evolution.
Well, yeah. It has to do with Darwin, for sure.
Yeah.
Fitches.
About Romulans changing so close together. I mean, you've argued more than me that they couldn't really change in that time. I'm less convinced. Yeah, I think you could probably argue it if they. And the problem
especially if they were doing experiments with genetics or selective breeding, but yeah.
No, it's true. But then you can kind of do anything with anybody, and that kind of you still need to have certain rules, certain lines to follow. When you go off the rails too much, it stops being the show, or grounded anyway.
And Morden is alive said, you notice they haven't shown any Klingons in Picard. If Worf shows up, he better not be in Discovery makeup. Worf's already been in Picard. First episode. We saw him. He looks exactly like Worf. It's fine.
Well, old Worf looked like Worf because it was stock footage. I mean, the Enterprise E also looked like Enterprise E. Doesn't mean it's not the same. No, but the director or the Kurtzman said, of course we wouldn't change Worf. You can't change established looks.
Except for the Enterprise.
And you're like, the hell are you on about?
Yeah.
Just because you know people won't accept, like, you can go with tech because lots of people say, oh, visual update. If you change Worf's makeup and then suddenly you show, 600 hours with him, people will not pay you any more money because you're a piece of shit. The ship, you get half of that caring. And then, you wonder why people aren't making merchandise. Because, I mean, how much Star Trek Picard merchandise has there been?
A lot, because I have no money because I've been buying it all.
Oh shit! Okay.
And I got a whole room full. It's just.
I mean, you've had every ship,
every
space station. You have 3 different free cloud sets. One with the drug Easter egg. One with the boxing. Yeah. You bought the pajamas.
I got the free cloud play sets. There's a bunch of them. Absolutely, there's a lot of Picard stuff.
The snake leaf is just a combination of.
I got a snake leaf vape around here somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Tranya, obviously, they're marketing Tranya.
Here's my snake leaf vaporizer.
That doesn't seem safe. No, it's. I know, but still. But you know what I mean? I mean, Discovery tried a little bit, but old Treks would actually have merchandise. There's nothing. Like you think even a Novos would have said, right, we're doing uniforms, although I guess they're at the Rocks, but if they were smart, they'd say, right, buy uniforms, both versions of uniforms as soon as they're released in the show. There's no merchandise. I mean, yes, Egon takes over a year, and they were stingy with their models as they always are. So fair enough. I'll be out 6 months' time, but
you say that, but they're replicators. They sell replicators from Picard. A lot of people I know have 3D printers. Just saying.
See, I thought you were making the joke that you could buy a replicator and make your own toys.
No.
Let me search Starship Picard on Amazon. What comes up? So you can buy one book.
That'll be what you'll find. Yeah.
A calendar, 2021 Picard calendar.
And Jarzia, $2. Did you get the each have special edition operation game? Oh, that's good.
I would, but the last owner ripped it apart.
Oh. And then shot it. So it's all like burned.
Oh yeah, the only way you win the game is by destroying it with a gun. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Jeff Jacobs, $2. 200 sweet. 250 is easy. We need 300. Hashtag make Jeff pay. 250 of you here. 50 of you probably have not hit like, so hit that like button.
Yep. I'm searching now eBay for Star Trek Picard because eBay is a bit more. You would think they would sell com badge, wouldn't you?
They don't even have the visitors badges or anything for sale.
Right. This is just people are made. This is just things, right? You can get the family crest, a 7 of 9 Picard implant set, but that's just normal. A poorly done, incorrect 3D print of the set, shirts with generic logos on them, playmates communicated from years ago. You can buy a com badge on the little ones, on the badges from the premiere. Yep.
This is the big.
Yep. Nope. There's just nothing.
Max volume, a board corridor slip and slide, board rituals and all. Yeah, that's great.
Oh God, why?
Oh, Techno Mecha says please check Etsy for merchandise. Etsy will probably have some badges and stuff for sure.
Yeah, and you can get a Picard cast TV show poster gift, for $7.99 with the entire cast signatures. Don't buy that for a second, because obviously they just photoshopped all the signatures. Which, I mean, is that not almost the same though, in a sense? Like, if you just want a poster, like just a pure display piece, you don't care if it's real or not. You just want a display piece. I mean, obviously part of the, it's like, why would
price
you buy...
is the big deal there.
Well, yeah. I mean, part
pay
of
$12 or $120.
Or well, not at all, because you haven't met the cast yet. I mean, part of, for me, getting an autograph is on my prints, first of all. And, when we got to meet George Takei, because we signed so many, we got a legitimate couple of minutes with them, or a minute or two. And that experience is so unique and worth every penny. So that's, there's reasons for me anyway.
And Super Coops is right. If you're going to get a t-shirt, get a Trekyards shirt. Click the Springs link down below.
Pimps are shit. Love it.
And Leon Cranston puts in $2 and says Riker's frozen pizza. They all come with one burnt tomato. Yep.
I like it. It's funny.
New home security systems probably coming out soon. Ray Shields.
But it is a bit weird though not to have merchandise. In the olden days...
Well, they didn't for Discovery, really, either.
Which is also not a good sign.
Yeah, they were going to make a Michael Burnham figure for McFarlane Toys. They made Kirk and Picard, and they were going to have Michael Burnham and... Was it Spock for the second run? And they never went ahead with them.
Well, I don't know who would want a Michael Burnham figure.
I don't know, but I want a Tilly figure.
Yeah. I mean, even if you respect Michael Burnham as a character, she's the least interesting of all the heroes.
Jesus Christ. Medallion, Riker's Pizza, reheating instructions. Set oven timer for 1 minuet. Dear God. You guys have been watching us too long.
They've learned.
Is there a Trekyards design shirt? No, but there should be. I actually have the research division patch thing. There's actually 2 of them. We should actually make a shirt with that. I will do that. I'll get on that.
Okay,
if you'll buy it.
I googled. Someone's selling a 3D print Les Arena. Not too bad. Not too bad. But it's not a very good model. There's a weird print with the Discovery, the Enterprise Connie, the Voyager, and the Enterprise D all flying out, which is weird. Well, that's not bad Lego, people, on Etsy. For 8 hours, is it per person? Yeah, $60 for all of them. Pa! No, thank you.
Oh, wow. No. Yeah, it's a pass.
Now I'm just looking at Etsy. Oh, assault rifle from okay, someone built the phaser rifle in 3D. It's not too bad. Proportionally, it's a bit wrong, but it's not too bad. I mean, okay. Oh, that'd be a good one to see. See people wear it to walk around at conventions like 3D printed rifles. That'd be cool to see. Yeah, it's not many props, if any. Visitor, yeah. Oh, for €200 you can get a fully 3D printed version of the rifle. It looks actually pretty good. It's a bit small, but that's really rather good, actually. Although his display is just printed resin, so that's not great. But...
Captain Kenny says, working on it, Samuel.
Cool. Hi, Stuart. I'm back.
That's okay. That's okay. We've kind of gone off topic anyway.
We have. Yeah, no. Basically, I think it's a flashback. Kotra's a great idea. If she's in the future, that's a shame, but could be interesting if played well. Oh! No, the Kotra was the thing I wanted to talk about. Okay, that was the note I had that I had to remember. And will it link to Discovery? It'll probably link to Discovery Season 3, but I just think is a synth not being buildable for 1,000 years. Because I think that just is exactly right.
And Minkin 2 says, I wondered how you guys were going to pad over a 2-hour show with a 10-second flashback. Never thought they would spend it on Etsy. Well, no. Well, these discussions are usually pretty natural the way they come together. So this has been a good one. More than half of it, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and Dave L. called something I called out as well. Did Riker raise the shields with the daughter outside? Yes! And his wife!
We talk about that in a video we filmed today, which will be out probably tomorrow. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah.
But
anyway.
I think we're about done, so who must be the very last super chat then?
Yes.
That's
I just want to say I think it might be a premonition based on just a story, much like a passed down legend or lore, or even the Kotra, as was pointed out.
Yep. Although destruction. Well, I think it's definitely them. Whoever is destroying a planet is not. This is a planet that's being destroyed by the people who want to kill the synths. It's not. The synths never went rogue, but they got so scared of what they could be, they killed them. I think that was one of those great tragedies of they made synthetic life and they were so scared of the results that they killed the life as well.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm so interested in the next episode. They've finally got some momentum. They've finished all their padding. There's quite a lot of it, weirdly. We've got 3 more. 7, 8. No, 8. Wait, what? Yeah, 8, 9, and 10.
Yes, 3 more, yes.
3 more. We'll see. Hopefully Picard's Picard. I mean, 7 should be good.
Yeah.
In a bit with Hughes, she seemed less revengey, but as soon as she found out Hughes dead, she'll be very revengey, so that'll be a... And we'll talk about predictions later. We've got some very interesting visuals in the predictions, which we'll talk about on Wednesday, as we do. And tomorrow's live is about what's next for Jurati and the crew, because of all their characters, where they may or may not go. That's the question. Do we have an answer? Maybe or maybe not.
Maybe we'll just, scroll around on Etsy for a while. Kev M. Scotland says, Trekyards, I want the Agnes puking action figure.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes. Tora69 puts in $2 and says 215 likes. So yes, you can get up to 220 easily.
I mean, can I please have 245 likes? I feel that's fair. We're at 216. Everyone should click like. That I think people should do. And then we can head out. So 216, click the button. You can do it on your phone, on your iPad, on your laptop, on your desktop. 218, come on. I want to see that rise. Rise, young rise. Yes, 219. Yes.
Leon Cranston, $2. Red Velvet Board Cube. Jersey, $2 Canadian. Will Girardi throw up on the next episode of Star Trek Trekyards?
Will Girardi throw up on the next episode of Star Trek Trekyards? Find it out next week. No, wouldn't that be
Try
great?
not to vomit yourself.
Yeah. Wouldn't you go if that was the whole Star Trek Picard naming convention was a typo? It wouldn't say Pucard. And they typoed.
I just assumed it was Picard.
Yes. Tangerine, this is a PayPal, so if you want to just jump to PayPal briefly, Stuart. We're at 223 likes. That is amazing. Oh, well, DX2069 says 269 likes are required. So now we've got a double challenge. Wowza.
Well, while I'm waiting for that to load, Area 51 puts in $2. Agnes Snow Cone Maker. How about a Raffi chocolate milk dispenser? All right. So Moosin puts in £2 and says, well, it's from Tangerine Star. Sorry, I didn't mean to read your first name. My bad. Just ignore what I just said, everybody.
Edit.
Hello, chaps. What a great week of brilliant videos. Keep up the good work. Something about the La Serena has been bothering me for weeks, and today it hit me. Its silhouette. The basic shapes are uncannily similar to the Y-45 armored transport hauler from Star Wars Solo.
Okay.
Have a look.
Give that, yeah.
Coincidence.
Tell me again.
Y-45.
Yep.
Armored transport hauler.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's the problem with shapes. You know, they're so easily... I can't really give them too much slack for that. There is only so many shapes, you know. But for clarity, I will now bring that up because they super chatted. Thanks so much.
Well...
Yeah.
Sushi Juice puts in $5. Will Skynet prevail this week? Yeah. Tune in this Thursday to find out.
Hey, I enjoyed Dark Fate.
I'm sorry.
I thought it was the best Terminator film since Terminator 2, so...
I haven't seen it yet, so...
I liked it. And here we go. Here's the cargo hauler. For some reason on a green background. It's the one that they had in the war sequences that they moved the ATSTs. And yeah, I mean, it's you can see exactly the same vibe. And considering it doesn't need to look like that at all to move a whatever's. Yeah. Take a look on the live, Mr. Stewart. Take a look on the live, Mr. Stewart.
It's not there.
Mr. Stewart.
Toss a coin to your captain.
Oh, you're
right.
What
am I looking at?
You're right. It's because there you go.
Yeah, you don't.
I had a thumbnail. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And also the thing might be cut up slightly.
You fail.
I know. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me uncrop it. There you go. Oh, that's the thing. Look! Don't look at me. No. Oh, there you go. It was formatted for cinematic widescreen, not for normal things.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it does look like similar. It's not similar enough though. It's like that's the shell.
Yeah.
And they just said, all right, well, let's plop stuff onto it.
And no, that was not a worthwhile payoff to that build-up, guys. But there it is.
Techno Mecha says you can blame people for coming up with generic sci-fi ships. You can blame them, especially in Star Trek. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to look at the Egomos. What on earth the design, like, this direction was. As you guys know, I'm thinking of doing a re-edit of the season. Although it's going to be a lot of work. We break down all the stuff I might have to redo, so it'll have to be certain things re-edit. But I need some support from that financially, so I'll take time off work to do it. But I think it'll be fun to do. And part of that would be actually doing new CGI to kind of fill in some of the gaps, adding some things that are clearly missing, like the Verity showing up and more stuff for this arena, like at warp passively, and jumping in out of warp and stuff. For that, we'd actually build a less arena model. But if I'm doing that, I might as well canonize it a bit, give some warp arrangements, some phaser strips, called escape pods, simple stuff. So you might be seeing a sort of prime canon, more Trek version. Because I personally, I would assume that if I was Rios, I would try and get a Federation designed freighter, because he's familiar with that stuff. So therefore, I would, and that would be my excuse for having it look more Federation-y than not Federation-y. I would personally have thought that, rather than getting a Rigelian freighter or something. So yes, you can also argue that ships are different, but yes, hello.
Thribs asks, what ship would you use for the Verite? I think that's a pretty simple answer.
The Odyssey class Enterprise F from Star Trek Online, as used in the comic books, and I've used hopefully Mark Bell's 3D model as they did for everyone. And try and get it to work. That'd be good. It'd only be 1 or 2 shots, but I would extend that sequence slightly to make it even more worth being in it. But yeah, no, it might happen. I'll let you guys know if you want. Keep track of it. But obviously, if I'm doing new CGI for the show, I'd have to build the Romulan ship. I'd have to build a new version of the Ranger fighter. I might even do the Borg cube again. So I do new shots of the Borg cube and make it less broken, because it hasn't meant anything yet.
Will you use Discovery shuttles, or you just have one in a junkyard as a real one flies by?
So what I would do probably to make the Discovery shuttles make sense, I'd probably add in every other type of shuttle into those scenes. So yes, we see one Discovery shuttle flying by, but now we see a TOS and a Type 9, like add every era, to imply that everyone still uses it's what you can afford, what you have access to on Earth. Or I'd rotoscope some of them out and then put in real shuttles, the ones that are more static. Kind of hard to do, but yeah, I would certainly retcon out that, and I'd want to redo the Utopia Phoenicia space sequence so that we didn't just see ships going one direction. We'd see space docks with ships in space docks, because that's heavily missing. And the shot we see the Lesser Arena for the first time, actually have the actual Earth space dock in the shot, and then pan from that to the Lesser Arena, and actually have setup stuff that I'd want to include. But I'd have to build quite a lot of stuff ready for that. I wouldn't even change the design of the Romulan ship. I think the Romulan design, I think we both agree that design's absolutely fine. Nothing really to change. It's great. Nothing much you could say about it. So that's an easy one.
The last comment. This reminds me, flashback or flash forward? We've already kind of given our thoughts. So, the Ronin, $2. I'm telling you, new DS9 Discovery Shuttle 9. What? Oh, the new DS9 Discovery Shuttle 9.
Okay. That's funny.
Oh, and can you redo the Nepenthe scenes so that the bunny corns are like 50 feet tall? Do it.
No.
I find out they put the horns on the bunnies as a direct reference and homage to that damn dog that had the horn on it.
It's good. I like it. It's funny.
Yeah.
I buy it.
Jerry, though, $2. Soji, Agnes, Laris, Narissa don't seem too clever.
Yeah. But they've also... Well, yeah, all the things. It's an evolving story, you know? Anyway, guys, thanks so much. Jerry, you get the last super chat. And I use the word name Jerry for lots of, like, accidental extras in our world. So, awesome.
Jerry is the generic red shirt Like just much like Ensign Ricky.
And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. And you and me are filming before we see you tomorrow, so we'll be definitely on time because we'll both be in the exact situation, ready to go.
Just for the record, I'm always on time.
Not well.
I'm always in the chat saying we'll be here in a few minutes, guys. Just relax. I think I've been late once.
There's no point discussing that part of the situation.
You brought it up. All right, bye, guys.
Well, I'm just saying. Like pro style. Anyway, see you tomorrow, guys. Thanks for joining in. How many likes we get to? 231. Okay, still some.
That's acceptable. More than the number of viewers right now, so that's good.
Awesome. Good night, everyone.
Bye, y'all.